Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to explain about a simple income and expense tracker which we developed using Google Sheets. The template is a monthly template and you can use it for any number of months. You can use it to keep track of your income, expenses, investments, savings and debts. The template also gives you some insight into your expenses and spending habits. We have a summary and dashboard section for that. Let's see what we have in the template. The template comes with four sheets. We have the home sheet where you can enter the month and the currency symbol that you want to use. The customized sheet is used to tweak some of the titles and text used in the template. The next sheet is income and expense sheet where you enter all your income, expenses, investments, savings, and debts. The print sheet helps you print your monthly expenses. Also, this is a free template. I have given a link down below in the description. If you're interested, please go ahead and download and use it. Let's see how to use the template. The home sheet has some instructions and do's and don'ts. The instruction section has details about what needs to be done before using the template. The do's and don'ts section provides a few best practices while using the template. Before starting to use the template, we should set our month and currency. Go to the month cell and double click on it. This will open a calendar where you can select any date. The month of the date will be used as the month in the template. We have selected a date from January, so the month is selected as January. The month is reflected in the income and expense sheet also. In the next cell, you can set your currency symbol. I'm going to use the dollar symbol. Once you are done with that, you can go to the customize sheet. In this sheet, we have four sections. Top of each section, we have provided a small description about the section. Please read it if you need some details about a section. In the first section, you can define your expense categories. There are a few categories already in the sheet. These categories are used while entering an expense. In the income and expense sheet, let me go to the expense section. You can see we have an expense category dropdown. The values for the dropdown come from the categories defined in the customized sheet. If you want to add new category, go to the bottom of the list and add a new category. If you do not want to use the existing categories and use your own categories, select all categories and press the delete key to clear the existing categories. Then add your categories. In the next section, you can add custom tags which are used to tag an expense. Tagging is useful when you want to add additional details for an expense. For example, you can use the tag pet to tag all the expenses spent on your pets. At the end of the month, you will be able to find out how much money you spent on your pets. In the next section, you can enter all your payment methods. If you want to add a new payment method, go to the bottom of the list and add it. In the next section, you can tweak the text used in the template. In the income and expense sheet, we have used a few text and titles. You can change it if you have better text for them. For example, we have a text called income transaction. If you want to change the text to income details, then you can do it here. Change the text and it will be reflected on the other sheet. I'm going to change the text to income details. If you want to use a text from different language, you can use them in the your text column, which will be reflected in the income and expense sheet. The income and expense sheet is the core sheet where you enter all your income expense details. It has several sections. Let's see one by one and its purposes. On the top left corner, we have the name of the month which we set on the home page. Below that, we have a list of links. These links help you to move to a section quickly. For example, to move to the summary section, which is far away from the top left corner of the sheet, click on the summary link and click again to go there. Also, you can come back to the leftmost section of the sheet by clicking on the link main menu. Below that, we have some total values, which I will explain shortly. Top of each section, we have provided a small description about the section, which may be helpful while entering the data. The projected income section is to enter the money that you think you will receive during the month. In the source column, you can enter the source of the income and it should be unique. If duplicate values are entered, they are highlighted in red. For example, if I enter YouTube again in the source column, both cells are highlighted in red color. Let me remove the duplicates. In the expected column, you can enter the amount you are expecting during the month. The actual and different values are calculated based on the amount entered in the income detail section, which is below to the projected income section. In the income detail section, you can enter the actual amount that you received. The source column is a dropdown that has the list of sources you defined in the projected income section. In the amount column, you can enter an amount. In the day column, you can enter the day on which you received the money. If the day column is empty, the first day of the month is applied to the date column. You can enter an amount multiple times for a source. For example, you may get your wages 2 times in a month. You can enter both amounts in the section. All the amounts are added and copied to the actual column of the projected income section. Next section is the savings section. This section is used to enter all your planned and actual savings. The investment and debt sections are similar to the savings sections where you can enter your planned and actual amounts. Moving on to the bills and subscription section. This section is you enter details about your monthly subscription like Netflix, HBO, and Canva, and also regular bills such as rent, electricity, internet. In the description column, you can enter the details about your bills or subscription. In the amount due column, you can enter the expected due amount. The due day column is to mention the due day of your bill or subscription. Custom tags can be used to add more details to your expenses. You can enter the category of the expense. Once you make the payment for a bill or a subscription, just click on the checkbox in the paid column and update the payment method. If you paid a different amount than the planned amount, then enter the amount in the amount paid column. Subscription and bills that have passed their due date are highlighted with a light red color. This may be useful sometimes if you forget your payment. In the expense planning section, you can input your planned expenses for the current month. In the source column, you can enter the category of your expense. In the budget column, you can enter the planned amount for the expense. The actual amount is calculated based on the expenses you made. You can record all your expenses in the expenses and tracking section. In this section, you enter the amount you spent on different categories. In the day column, you can enter the day on which you spent. Next, you select the category and then enter the amount. We have a description column to enter details about your expense. Also, enter the custom tags and payment methods. All the amounts spent on a category are added and copied to the expense planning section. For example, all the money spent on food category is added and copied to the actual amount in the expense planning. Next, we have the summary section. This section provides some insight into your expenses. The first summary describes the planned and actual incomes, expenses, investments, savings, and debt payment. You can find the expense based on categories, which will give you some insight into your expenses. The next summary gives you some idea about the payment methods used for your expenses. You will find how much money spent on a credit card or spent using cash. The next summary may give you some useful information about your expense based on custom tags. For example, you can find how much money you spent on kids, pets, and home decorations. In the next summary, you will find your top 5 expenses. In the dashboard section, you will find visual representation of all the summaries. Also, we have some charts in the beginning. You can click on the main menu and go to leftmost section of the sheet. The first pie chart indicates how much money you received through various income sources and how it went out during the month. In the middle of the chart, you will find the remaining money. In the next chart, you will find the breakdown of the money in and out. What are your income, savings, investment, debt repayment, and expenses? On the left side of the sheet, you can find the total amount of income, savings, investment, expenses, and debts. Moving on to the last sheet is to print your expense and keep it for your reference. Select all the rows that have the content and then press print icon. On the right side, select the selected cells to print. Click next to print report. This will print your expenses. I hope the template will help you to track your income and expenses effectively. If you want to customize the sheet or improve the functionality of the sheet, please fill out a Google form. The link to the Google form is given below in the description. Thank you for watching the video. If you like the video, please press the like button and subscribe to our channel for future videos. Thank you.